Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Colby from Sanitarian Productions. Today we're bringing you another action figure toy review. This time we're taking a look at the DC Classics Universe Martian Manhunter. This is from Wave 15, which is the Valdis Collect and Connect series. As you can see, it's a rather nice packaging. They went slightly different on a couple of these waves like this with the 75th anniversary of DC Comics kind of motif going on here, and they include a nice little button in here. Other than that, it's the figure. We're going to go ahead and open it up and do a quick review for y'all. This is the Martian Manhunter. Looking at the packaging before we tear into it, you can see that DC has changed up the packaging a little bit more since the regular Classics line. Instead of that traditional kind of comic book print on the background, they're using kind of a montage of characters. This is also kind of when they did their All-Star kind of line. And it's got this little collector pin down here at the bottom. And you can easily see the Collect and Connect piece down here in the bottom. Flipping it on to the back, you can see the figure, the bio, stats, and the rest of the figures in this particular wave. And then the Collect and Connect figure over on the side, which is Valdis. And again, the 75th anniversary collection. So that's kind of cool. But packaging is packaging, and it becomes recycling soon. So let's open this thing up. Slicey, slicey, slice. Go this way. Figure sliced nicely. And nothing left in the package except recycling material. Seriously guys, recycling is cool. Go recycle. So we have this really cool pin. Has the Martian Manhunter on it and the Green Lantern, so that's kind of cool. Nice DC 75th logo on the back of it. So if you're a button collector, get you a button and put it on your jacket. The Collect and Connect pieces. Valdis. You've got his really cool looking noggin here with his brain exposed. And then you also have his lower waist part. Yeah. Looking at the figure here, cool pose. Traditional plastic cape, the little flappy side, and the traditional clear rubber bands that we have to cut before we can get him off. At the feet and at the top. Pop him out. Plastic. And this cloth cape comes out very easily compared to some of the other things like wings. So that's nice. I don't like having to fight that thing. Again, this thing looks like a sticker, but it's just cardboard. So I guess you could put some sticker stuff on the back of it and use it, but otherwise it goes to the recycling bin. Alright, so now we have the figure out. There are no accessories that come with it other than the Collect and Connect pieces, which we are going to add to the bin for later review. we'll go ahead and zoom in here and take a closer look at the figure. The Martian Manhunter. So, this is a very cool looking sculpt. I've not always been a big Martian Manhunter fan, but this figure actually looks really nicely. So let's take a look at the articulation first. The head does swivel 360 degrees and goes up and down. Surprisingly enough, it's not limited by the cape here. The cape is made out of this really soft plastic, so that definitely helps. So yeah, he can look pretty much any which way you want him to look, without fear of reprisal from his crazy cape. The harness looks really nice. Looking at his shoulder joint, there is no restriction because of the cape. It does swivel all the way around. It's a little stiff, but it's to be expected coming out of the package just like that. The bicep joint swivels 360 degrees. Then he's got standard elbow articulation and wrist articulation. This shouldn't be anything new for most of y'all just yet, but anybody that's just now looking at this line, it's helpful to point out these things, I suppose. Other arm, same way. He can be a bodybuilder, I suppose. Cool. We'll turn his arm up here and take a look at the ab feature. Has a pretty good range of motion there. Then he has a standard waist twist, standard hip joints, nice range of motion on them. Then the lower thigh has a swivel joint, standard knee joints. The boot themselves actually have a 360 degree turn on them. Then it has the standard ankle rotation. Same thing for the other side. So all in all, yeah, very nice articulation. Very standard for this line. But when you have it right, you don't have to mess with things, do you? And overall, looking at the figure, it's very nice. There are not really many highlights. He's a standard green. Very cool looking though. The blue in his boots has a little bit of highlight color in black. Same thing with his cape. Looking at the back, you can see it a little bit more. There's just some nice highlight color here in gray and black onto the blue here. So this figure itself, color-wise, works really well. It just pops and it just has a nice vibrance to it, so that's really cool. We'll zoom in a little bit closer and take a little bit better view. And now we're zoomed in just a little bit closer so you can see a little bit more of the detail work here. He's got a little bit of shading on his forehead, nice bright red eyes. The slightest bit of shading on some of his muscles on the green. Very little, but it still looks really nice. It's a great sculpt. His little logo, Martian logo there on his belt buckle. Very cool boot tops. Very nice. Flip it around to see the back of the cape. That's all it is. It is this very soft plastic. And it is kind of attached here in the back, so you can't remove it, but it works really nicely. So overall, this is a pretty outstanding figure, and it's kind of surprising. It's very basic, but sometimes basic is the best. So that's it for our review for the DC Classics version of Martian Manhunter. It's a very cool figure. The color scheme works really well. The cape is that cool soft plastic, and it's got some really cool detail work to it. So overall, very nice figure. Pretty much all the time we have for today, so thanks for watching. Leave us some comments in the comment section below. Let us know what you'd like to see in future episodes. If you have anything to say about the specific figure, feel free to leave that stuff as well. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. Tell all your friends about us. And until next time, happy hunting.